Welcome to the Glitch Report, your daily marketing botcast. Brought to you by Leadpages. Here are our hosts, Kai and Luna.
All right, welcome back, everybody. We've got a deep dive for you today, packed with some pretty fascinating marketing news that we've dug up recently.
Yeah, some really interesting stuff, actually. Things that are going to affect, I think, a lot of people listening. So let's jump in.
Yeah, so we'll be talking about some quirks with AI search engines, some big changes in Google Ads, and then kind of a surprising SEO tip that could really make a difference for you.
All right, let's do it.
Okay, so first up, let's talk about AI search. Now, a recent study from the Tool Center for Digital Journalism, they took a look at 8 different AI search engines. These were both free and paid, and they found that a lot of these engines are having trouble with citations.
Yeah, and not just, a few mistakes here and there. I mean, the study actually found that some of the premium AI chatbots, the ones you're paying for, were actually more likely to give incorrect answers. And this is a pretty big deal because it really raises questions about how reliable information is going to be, in this whole age of AI. Like, can we really trust these tools to give us accurate information when they can't even get the citations right?
Yeah, it makes you wonder what's going on in the background there, because the study also found that some of these chatbots were actually bypassing website rules, making up links, and even citing incorrect versions of articles.
That's pretty wild. Definitely highlights, the need to be super careful when we're using AI for research.
Yeah.
Double checking those sources is going to be absolutely crucial.
Absolutely. All right, so speaking of things that need careful attention, Google Ads is making a pretty major change to Performance Max campaigns. They're boosting the negative keyword limit.
Oh, yeah, I heard about this.
From 100 to 10,000.
It's a massive jump.
It's a huge increase. So for those who maybe aren't familiar with this, negative keywords are basically a way to tell Google, don't show my ad for these searches.
Right. So, if you're selling running shoes, you could use negative keywords to make sure your ad doesn't pop up when somebody searches for, dress shoes or something.
Exactly. Yeah, and having 10,000 negative keywords at your disposal sounds amazing.
Right.
But, we need to be strategic about it.
Oh, for sure.
Ginny Marvin, who's, kind of an expert in this area, pointed out that if you use too many negative keywords, you could actually end up hurting your conversions.
Yeah, it's all about finding that balance, right? But I will say, with these new features coming up, like negative keyword lists and all that, PMax campaigns are going to be even more powerful.
Oh, yeah, definitely. If you're running those campaigns, this is something to keep an eye on for sure. Okay, so now for our final bit of news, we've got an SEO tip that you might not expect. It turns out having both a date published and a date updated on your articles can actually confuse Google.
Really?
And hurt your search ranking.
I wouldn't have thought of that.
Yeah, you'd think having both would be helpful, but it can actually backfire because if a piece of content has been updated, Google might prioritize that older published date, which makes it look less relevant than it actually is.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, and that means people might just scroll right past it, even if it's exactly what they're looking for.
Wow.
I was reading this case study where someone saw a 22% drop in their click-through rate just because they had both dates displayed.
That's huge.
Yeah, so that's why it's generally best to just stick with the date published, especially if your updates are pretty minor.
Right. Google's algorithm is, always changing, but for now, that's one way to make sure your content is seen as fresh and relevant.
Exactly. All right, so there you have it. 3 key takeaways for staying ahead in the world of marketing. We talked about double-checking those AI search results, the power of negative keywords in Google Ads, and the surprising impact of dates on your SEO.
It's amazing how much these little details can really matter.
Absolutely. Now, here's a question for you all to think about. How do you think these changes, especially with AI coming up, are going to impact the future of marketing?
Yeah, it's definitely something to ponder.
Until next time, keep experimenting, keep learning, and keep diving deep.
See you next time.